your host, Susan Regan.
Hello, I'm Susan Regan, and I'm the host of Connecticut Valley Views. And I'm very pleased today to have as my guest Robert Hyde. He is a Connecticut Republican candidate for the 2022 U.S. Senate. You're on the road again, I can see, Robert.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you just come from, and where are you going?
The town of Prospect, quote, the most patriotic small town in Connecticut. And I was just standing with Debbie's Deplorables on the corner down there. I'll send you a picture with about 40, 50 people.
Great.
Volunteering to petition for signatures. They're
Great.
called circulator.
Excellent. I see. Yeah, and I see Thunder's in the back seat there.
Thunder.
Yeah, that's a good fellow. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Well, the Republican convention, it just recently was held at Foxwoods Casino over Mother's Day weekend. And my guest is currently petitioning to achieve a spot in the August 2022 primary election. I'm going to let him cover the details of how that occurred and the delegate voting, and which has brought him now to his current objective. So, speak to that, Robert, if you could. What happened at the convention and what you're doing now?
So at the convention, I secured about 21 votes. Then I told my delegates, I told Team Leora that she could have my delegates. And then we signed over, most of my delegates signed over to Leora. And that was about it. It was a pretty poor showing of I don't know how to really describe it. You know it better than most people. We went in there expecting exactly what happened. On the positive note, Emma got just over 50%. She was pulling at 80 to 90. So that was pretty cool seeing her, the establishment.
Sure.
Well, 30% of the
Okay.
not vote for her was cool to see. Lamage, who has run 4 big other races and has been spreading his message for 12 years to these people, get under 20% was interesting. To see Leora just get over 20% with my delegates was pretty cool. And I came 4th out of 6th, which was interesting. And we had the least cost per vote out of all 6 candidates, which was nice. But it was like anything. You do the math, and you see stuff where Stefanowski skipped and bypassed the convention in 2018 and just paid PricewaterhouseCoopers to collect 40,000 signatures. Who paid him like $400,000 and go straight to a five-person primary and secure his name on the ballot and come in with 29%, win it.
Sure. Well, let's talk now where you're going. So you're petitioning, just for our listeners, explain what you have to do and the number you have to reach in order to make that primary. Number of signatures.
So just quickly, too, I'm here at the CCVL headquarters. It's the last day of demolition, so I'm helping out the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. We ripped off all the carpet on Friday, and now I'm coming here to help finish the floors for their new headquarters here in Seymour, Connecticut. And that's it. They're going to help me secure this too. Yeah.
So you have until, I believe, at the August primary, I believe it's August 9th. So you're going to collect probably you have to get, I think it's 9,000 signatures, but you actually have to get a few more in case those registered signatures do not validate with the respective towns. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right.
9,081 is
all
the
right.
number this.
All right. So well, you're working hard. You're working hard. You're in it to win it, right, Robert?
Listen, I don't know how you could work any. Yeah, we're working very hard. Yeah,
good.
I have 1,200 currently. Hopefully this week our plan is. We're not going to advertise our plan, but hopefully this week, if this plan goes well, then be on the ballot. The team was also talking to me yesterday how I could run as an independent. Then we don't have to stress, put a team together, and all that stuff. But we're doing the math on that too.
Sure. Well, all right. Well, now a little bit of a personal background. I mean, I know you were in Washington. Could you give a little background on that, your time you spent in Washington? We know you were served your country as a Marine, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But tell us your time in Washington. What was your job there?
My job was interesting. It was a good job.
Mm-hmm.
It exposed a lot. It was nice.
And you interfaced with Trump, I understand.
There was a lot of benefits.
Mm-hmm. And you interfaced with Trump?
I don't know if a lot of people would call those benefits. Okay. To me, they're, but yeah, we hung out in the zone quite a bit.
Okay, all right.
I was in the swamp quite a bit.
Now, how do you feel about your money, money raising? Where are you with that status?
With money raising?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't even looked. I think we just crossed like the $40,000 thresh mark, which I was talking to my treasurer yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Need some funds to pull in the team to do the strike force at the end of the month if I want to go that route for the signatures for the primary. So we're moving full steam ahead, and that's it. I mean, we're just doing our best without stressing out and having fun at the same time, but also making moves that make sense. There's no reason to spend money on something that's not going to happen. So it's a week out of the primary or the convention, and it was nice, best foot forward and your face out there. But the one thing I just don't know is, was it even worth it?
So let's move on to this. Let's talk about differentiating yourself from the others that are running. I know you've mentioned that they've spent time doing that before. Maybe they have more name recognition. Maybe they're raising more money. We don't know their status right now. We know that Leora is well known down in the Gold Coast area. Obviously, Themis is well known here, closer to the Hartford area. But what can you tell us? Because they always talk about primaries, and they talk about putting down other people, putting down other candidates, when really what you need to do is to raise the visibility of yourself and what you bring to the table. So what would you say would be the top three things that carve you out from the rest of the pack?
I'm the only one that served the country honorably.
Yes. And we're talking here running against Senator Blumenthal. And so we could also, I guess, address the issues that he is currently causing the state of Connecticut in representation in Washington. So where do you feel critically that your skill set is going to be the best candidate to run against him? And we know that he made a statement that he was in Vietnam. That is technically, I guess, is correct that he served during Vietnam, but he was actually stateside. You actually served and were overseas. Tell us a little bit about that experience while you were overseas.
All right. Well, the missions were class. There's not much I can talk about except
Sure.
the state.
Sure. Right.
Iraq. And I spent about 70 days collectively in Iraq. So they were successful. That was about it. So in 2003.
Versus the other candidates, what do you see as your greatest strengths? And why would those strengths be the right set of solutions to the issues that are stating that we have stated for Connecticut with regard to our, I guess, relationship with the Washington crowd? I mean, what do you see as your strengths? Is it your fortitude? Is it your relationship with the voters? Is it your determination that you can change things? There must be something that you believe in yourself enough to go through all of the challenges that happened and occurred not only during the convention, but now moving forward in the primary.
I think it's just my realism and love for country.
Love of country. Well, that's, I think that's, we get back to, go ahead. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I think honestly, that's the biggest thing going is my minimal time in public office. This is another benefit. The minimal amount of time I've had to make deals with special interests or lobbyists. There's another benefit of my campaign. Another benefit would just be, honestly, I think I just resonate well with what people want.
All right. Now, what would be, with regard to the issues that we have with Senator Blumenthal, what do you see as a priority? Let's just say you win the race and you were the candidate to run against him. And let's just say you beat him. I mean, he's got a lot of money. We understand that. What would be the first thing that you feel we need to address, or you could address, if you win the post?
I think the first thing I would address would be election integrity. Would be number one right away, to try to do something about funding for things in that nature, just to keep special interest and foreign nationals out of our election process, for sure, and do something with voter IDs on a national level, and to definitely the drop box locations and stuff like that. I think there needs to be something. Did you see 2,000 Mules yet?
No, I did not see it as yet. I did not. I've heard a great deal about it, and I understand it's well worth reviewing, for sure. Well, all right. So if we talk about election integrity, obviously we're talking on the local level as well. Do you feel that the voters, overall, your sense of the voters, do you feel, I know what happened at the convention, but do you feel as though you are receiving a different, let's call, popularity? If we were to take a poll right now, do you feel that the voters are listening to you versus the other candidates? Is that your sense?
No, I don't know. It's a tough call, and that's a tough answer to answer that. Yes, from what I see and hear, yes, but that's not scientific or a scientific poll. It would be interesting talking to Roger Stone about this yesterday, because I'm discussing where to go, right? What to do. There's a few things we can do. So, yeah, obviously, grassroots people, voters, I'm definitely resonating with a lot of people.
It's the message that you're giving. What is the?
I'm not talking. So, Susan, it's a huge hurdle because we're one of 3 states that does a convention.
Yes, that's correct.
2 states you can pay to be on a primary, $5,000, $8,000 to be on a primary. Connecticut, you got to go get approximately 10,000 signatures because you're going to get about 10% kickback of not real signatures. So you need 10,000 over that 9,000. It's nearly impossible. Stefanowski paid a company, PricewaterhouseCoopers, $400,000 he skipped the convention, and they mass blasted, spray and prayed, and they collected over 40,000 signatures, and they were just hoping they made the threshold, and they did. So it's tough because when you have, and not a budget like Stefanowski, where he dumped $2-3 million into TV ads right off the bat, wiped out his competition that way, then paid for his name to be on the ballot, and then won 29% against those other 4 candidates. I got a tough mountain climb. I got to collect signatures. I'm not on the news every day. I'm not on TV doing ads every day. I'm not getting the free press as much as I was. So you got it's a monster. You got Leora Levy that put $1.5 million of her own money in. A few weeks ago, you got Demis that's put $1/2 or $750,000 of her own money in and raised $250,000, I think. And then you got Lamage, who I think says he's raised $180,000, and he's been doing it. He's been preaching his thing to these RTCs for five cycles, 10, 12 years. So it's a monster. To just keep answering your question, it's a monster hurdle.
Yes.
Because I'm the new guy. I don't have the name recognition amongst the parties. I don't have their support because I haven't made deals with them for 30 years. I don't have $1.5 million in advertising that I'm putting out there. I literally just have my dog, some signs, and some business cards. That's it.
It's called grassroots.
we're literally, and I got to be honest with you, I'm doing okay with it. It's tough, but it's the hardest state to get it. And here's a kicker that you're gonna love this one. Here's a kicker. So, and I actually just messaged a couple of reporters this morning because I was like, they should know about it, even though my consultant was like, no, they don't care. And he's right, they don't care. But Saturday night, Flynn was showing me, he called me and showed me how to do the petition for signatures on the Secretary of State's website. And it was kind of hard to navigate to. I got there, the link, I was going to fill it out. Then I was filling it out. I called my lawyer, who's in Wisconsin, my treasurer lawyer. And Gene was like, Rob, stop. Don't fill that out. This is how Wisconsin keeps people off the ballots. If you misfill out that form. I'm like, okay, thanks, Gene. Have a good weekend. She had COVID. This is last Saturday. So
Yeah.
Then Sunday, I go and show my consultant online on my laptop. He's on his whatever in Texas. And we go through it. I show him how to get to it because it is kind of hard to navigate to. So we went to it and we're looking at the form and he's like, okay, I'll call the Secretary of State to find out what we got to do, and start making plans. I'm like, all right, great, Al, good night. Monday morning, I wake up, get my stuff done, hit the gym, come back, do stuff, getting ready to go to the Secretary of State's office, but I'm waiting for it to go on Lee Elsey's show. While I'm doing that, I'm on the Secretary of State's website and you're going to get a kick out of this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's the forms?
Oh, Lord.
So I call Al on my other line while I'm waiting for Lee Elsey on hold. And I'm like, Al, I don't think I'm losing my mind because I went through this a few times.
Yeah, right.
But the forms are gone. He's like, what are you talking about? Well, he's like, it doesn't matter. I got them saved. I'm like, Al, I know, but it's really weird. And he's like, I'll look into it. So he's looking into it. And then he texted me because I went after Lee Elsey. I drove to the Secretary of State's office, which is I've never been to. And it's 25 minutes from my house. It's right next to the Capitol, the State Building, I think it's called. And I literally was almost about to park, and my consultant he goes, Rob, you're not going to believe this, but they're like, one, I was on hold for 23 minutes. Two, it's like the lady's like, I can't believe what happened. It's like the forms disappeared overnight.
Oh my Lord!
So the forms. So I go into the building. And I'm standing there with like 3 other people, I guess, that are doing the same thing because they've done this before.
Yeah.
Lady comes down and, hey, Mr. Hyde, she's all frantic. She's like frantic, like shaking.
Yes.
And we were like, I'm like, whoa, I'm like, hey, I need this application. My treasurer says, I missed fill it out. She's like, comes down with it. She's still a little shaken. I'm talking to her. She's like, yeah, I'm going to vacation next week and this and that. And I'm like, all right, got my treasurer my lawyer on the phone. She's like, no, we don't really care in Connecticut how you fill it out as long as just do this. So we did. Then she goes and comes down. She's like, okay, I'll probably have your petition forms to you tomorrow. I'm like, well, you know what? We're kind of in a hurry. Got to get 9,000. Is there any way to print that up?
Right.
She's like, yeah. I'll go. And I'm like, hey, I just want to show you this. The forms disappeared overnight. Here's my consultant. She's like, oh my God, I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. I was working on the website this morning and I forgot to save the links.
Oh,
no. And me and everyone in the lobby were just like, really? The Monday after the convention for Democrat and Republicans, You guys are working on the website first thing in the morning. It's literally like 10:30 in the morning and you like forgot to save the links for everybody to get on a ballot.
Oh my Lord. Oh,
so it was the oddest thing ever. So she printed it out, brought it back down.
Did you feel it was an honest mistake, or did you think there's subterfuge here or something?
How is that an honest mistake?
I don't know, but you're concerned about the voting and the ballot boxes.
It's Monday after the Democratic convention and the Republican convention, and like one of the only states that has a convention. Yeah. And state workers, people are coming into work as I was standing there at 10:30 in the morning. So she got there extra early to work on the website to make what were you doing on the website the day after a convention trying to fix it? The convention too, and then you forgot to save the links that everybody was looking at all week.
Right. All right.
I
So
mean,
are you good now? Are you good? I mean, you're all set now?
I was all set then because she was doing it all. She was doing it all
Okay.
for us, but it was.
So what you're saying is this is part of the corruption that's happening in Hartford. This is part of that whole systemic.
Any clearer than like the Secretary of State's office. It's not that big. They deleted the links to petition to primary, to petition to be on the ballot. They deleted the links. Were gone, Susan.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah. You're on your way now. Obviously, you're going to be keeping you're going to be keeping watch, and this is part of what you said. You want to make sure that the voting thing is clarified, cleared up, and going forward for other people who are going to run for office. This is one of the major things to be addressed. But let's give the website that you want if people want to join, help you get signatures, help you in any way they can, lawn signs, whatever. What's your website? So have I got this right? Hyde4senate.com. Is that correct?
It's Hyde4senate at .com is my website. And you could just do Hyde4senate at Gmail if you want to email me direct.
Okay.
And we're going to do, I got to go in here, collect 50 more signatures from these men in here and women. And then just keep going, see if I could get someone to sign up to take a petition form and collect 20 signatures each. So, we're going to keep going. Right now, I did in the last 4 days, we did just over 1,200 signatures. I got, if I could hit about 5,000, it should make the strike force easily if I want to go that route to put my name on that.
Good ballot. For you. All right. Well, it's been very interesting to talk with you today. We wish you the best of luck as you go forward. And keep Thunder right there in the back seat. Your backup guy. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Best of luck going forward.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay. This is Susan Regan, host of Connecticut Valley Views. Please be sure to see all of our programs on our website, ctvalleyviews.com. And thank you for joining me with my guest today, Robert Hyde, who is a Connecticut Republican candidate for the 2022 U.S. Senate.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay, take care.